change it. I think that's one of the reasons why Clinton won. You know, Clinton had this no matter what.
I'll tell you, when we first had this conversation about the letters, you were right. And
you know, I was just playing it up, and these guys are like, "What? It has a boost!" You know, I mean, for 25-year-old guys.
Poor job of organizing, poor job of educating too.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I like the intro. It's got style. Yeah, buddy, just like me and Phil. We've got style. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Phil. How you doing? We're like two old ladies drinking tea at night.
Delicious tea. That's not tea. That's coffee. That's a very strong French roast. It's absolutely delicious. Of course, with a little coconut creamer in there. I like my coconut creamer.
You look sexy
Dimitri,
today. I really like that shirt. Can you sport that shirt? Tell us what that shirt. What does it say?
Would you like? You want to see more of the shirt?
Yeah. Can you please give us like a little? There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that.
Real Z. Little bit of platform right there.
A
little bit of Innokin right there.
Can we see the back?
And then, can you see the back? I can't say. Can you see
yes,
it?
yes. Oh, look at that. It's all the Z's, the original Z's.
The original Z.
That's pretty cool, man. That's a cool shirt.
Real Z.
I wish you knew you were gonna. We should time it so I know to wear mine as well too.
I'm sorry. I should have told you. By the way, just something I want to suggest to you.
Yeah.
Just be real careful when you do that over the shoulder shot of you, because I know you're going to get caught watching porn one of these nights. You know, not even think about it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Just be careful. I just want you, you know.
There's nothing. What are they going to do? They're going to cancel me, Phil? What are they going to do? Tell me, what are they going to do to me?
No, look, you breathe the wrong way and you get shut down on YouTube these days. So just be careful. Like, look at Mike Vapes.
Mike Vapes, yeah. Mike Vapes got a strike, and I mean, listen, I mean, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I haven't reviewed since 2015, but he got a strike. I mean, he's not selling any. It's just basically a review, not selling. There's no links on his video. We all tweeted YouTube team. They reviewed it. They said, I don't think a human reviewed it. I think it's all based on a bot system. And it seems like YouTube goes through these algorithms at times, and they gave him a strike, and he can't upload a video for a week. I mean, it's ridiculous. I heard Trovo Live is another platform that's getting a little bit of action. It's mostly for gaming, kind of like Twitch. But I mean, look, it seems like it's a combined conspiracy, Phil. I mean, you know, I'm not a conspiracy nut, but if you look at the PACT Act, if you look at the nicotine tax, if you look at the FDA, if you look at the YouTubes, if you look, I mean, put them all together. It's just like a concentrated effort to keep people smoking in America.
It keep people smoking and a few other things. You know, you used to say the land of the free. Is this truly the land of the free anymore?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
It's not good. It's not good what's going on. God, oh shit. What's that other platform? I was just telling you about that. I've been watching. There's some shows there that are still allowed, and they're allowed to say.
Oh yeah, what was that? I forgot. You just now mentioned it.
I just now mentioned it. I'll figure it out as the show goes. But it feels like, you know, with vaping, would you say vaping is left, center, or right?
You mean the usage or who's against it?
Who's against it?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely not a political because the interests of those people is dependent on pharmaceutical and tobacco companies. So I mean, there's not one politician, believe it or not, that has a serious politician that's going to come out and say vaping is, you know, helping people quit smoking and we should back off because of the special interests that are behind it. It's definitely not a political issue. And I'm not buying this if it's a Republican or a Democrat. The Democrats have a little bit more against vaping because of PAVE and all these other, you know, things. And we're going to talk about one of the worst opponents today. But I definitely don't think that it's a partisan issue. I think they all don't want competition For the other products, which is the pharmaceutical available products, the treating of tobacco-related illnesses that creates profit for pharmaceutical companies, cigarette tax money for master settlement agreement and political donations, and funding these campaign for tobacco-free kids. I mean, it's just all. I think they're all against it.
Yeah. And by the way, Army Man Brad and
what's up, Brad?
Who else got it? Apathy Miller. Rumble. It's Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble. Yeah. Hey, Apathy, what's up? But Bill says sound is good. That's good. That is good. Surprisingly. But yeah, I just don't think it's a political issue. I think that we just were not influential enough to shift the platform. And I think that the two videos, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on the show, we have some important stuff to cover. But I think that the two videos that we showed you from France, and by the way, like, you said before the show when we were talking privately that you've had it with social media, like you don't want to get on there. Like I've had it sometimes too. Like I tweet, I'm very active on Twitter. I promote the shows. I promote the work that we do. I tweeted about the premiere of the scientific episode that we did, and I said, you've heard, and the reason why I'm doing this is to give tools to vapers that are active on Twitter. When somebody tells them, well, we don't know what's in liquid, boom, here's a link, show them, the scientific work that's going on at VDLV. And somebody tweets me, he's like, well, I know what's in my fucking liquid. Just like, I'm like, a vapor. Can you believe it? I'm like, don't watch, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, we did so much work. Not only to, and this wasn't, we didn't get paid for this, by the way. I mean, we went and shot all this video. Phil put countless of hours of editing to be able to promote, to give you guys content and also tools to use to show how some companies are doing it right. And, when vapers say stupid shit like that, it just makes me not want to do anything.
Well, yeah, and we were talking about that. It's just like just the internet in general, social media. I just feel like it's just a cesspool. I've said that about Twitter so many times. I stay the fuck away from Twitter. It's just like every time I go online, there's just something that pisses me off more. But as far as like you saying just now that we're trying to put out another tool for you to use, right?
Yeah.
How many times since we've been doing this have we put out a tool and we just hope that it goes viral because it's so good and it should, right? And like that the wind has been knocked out of my sails a little bit. And I think I can point out specific times when just that wind gets blown out. And one was the release of Vape Fellas, right? Because that's a damn good video.
I thought it was going to get a million views. I thought it was going to get a million views. Easily. Like I even with Larry, I'm like, this is good. Yeah. When I was done editing it and I looked the whole thing over, not only I could also like judge how good a video is by how many times I rewatch it. And I know you do the same thing. Absolutely.
Right? When you have a project that you put together and you really like it, right? And you watch it over and over and over again because you enjoy it and you like the message and it's entertaining and it can be watched over and over again. And to put something like that out there, a tool like that, and like I just sat back and I couldn't believe it. Whereas in the past, I would write something on tasteyourjuice.com and watch it get like 100,000, 200,000, like 500,000, like views and thumbs up and likes and everything. And it's like now just like, why am I doing anymore? Who fucking does anybody give a shit?
Yeah.
Does anybody really give a shit anymore?
I think it's just a small percentage of the people that still give a shit. And we know we've seen the numbers decline in general and vaping in general, but and the passion and a lot of people had just like you had their wins taken out of them as well too, over the constant fight and the burning out phase of it. But I mean, that's just the reality where we are now. I mean, if we had a PR firm that represented us and we gave them Vape Fellas, that would have gotten 10 million, overnight, but maybe you should get on TikTok. People are going viral on TikTok. You should get on TikTok.
Talk about cesspools, right? Talk about cesspools.
The cancer of the internet. But I mean, that's where people get views now.
I know. But and there's something else that I want to talk to you about later on if we have time about an experience that I had with Bridget in talking with her yesterday during the premiere and then talking with her afterwards trying to identify something for her father. I think she's on. I think she might be watching.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about
So
it.
we'll talk about that and how I kind of feel about that too. But are you going to do the important stuff right off the bat?
I'm gonna do the important stuff after I tell you that I did get the opportunity this past Sunday to meet Peggy from 𝗍𝗂𝗀𝗃 𝗀𝗃. She was driving down from the mountains going down to Florida. She stopped at and we had a restaurant at my former restaurant at Portofino's. We had some gyro and some Greek salad and really enjoyed talking to her. One of the few that's still doing it right. One of the only few stores down there in Dayland, I think it's DeLayland, Florida. That's mostly still a vape shop. Yeah.
I'm a little pissed.
Yeah, I heard a ding though from your computer, and that
I can turn it out. But I'm a little bit angry. I'm a little bit angry that that you got to meet Peggy and I didn't. Okay.
Well, I mean, clearly, she likes me better.
Well, no, she saved the best for last.
But yeah, it was nice to meet her, and I enjoyed talking to her, and we had a nice conversation, a nice lunch, and it was nice. So hopefully we'll both get to go and see her sometime when I come down to Florida. Maybe we'll make a drive up to her shop.
I don't know what I'm more jealous about, if you meeting Peggy or the fact that she got to eat gyro with you.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was really, really good. Had a Greek salad, some gyro. It was good. And then today I had my booster shot. I took me and my mother-in-law, my 84-year-old mother-in-law. We went and had so I'm boosted now as well too. My left arm's a little bit sore, but I got that out of the way.
Oh, well, use your right arm.
I will.
But that's beside the point. Like, look, if you did not get, because we haven't talked about the train rides yet. We haven't. But if you did not get COVID after the French trip,
yeah,
that booster shot was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm getting ready to travel again at the end of the month, and not only I'm traveling, I'm going to through London, which I hate. Number one. Number two, I'm going to Albania, and I mean, I just want to be protected. That's all. So I went and did the booster shot.
That totally makes sense. You know that I'm not anti-vax.
No. I'm just letting you know. That's all.
The only reason I'm probably not going to do the booster is because I got the COVID.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
You got antibodies built up to you right now. They're coming out of your asshole. That's how many antibodies you got. You can share.
Vaccinated. I got vaccinated, then I got COVIDated. So I'm like Superman. Like the COVID, they just bounce right off.
You can share antibodies with everybody. From Bill, success rate of vaping to convert smokers would put all the pharma, NRT, government contracts at risk if they didn't fight against us. You're absolutely right. All right, let's get to some serious stuff. You know, the COP9 is going on, Phil.
Yeah, well, hold on a second before you start talking about COP9.
Yeah.
Because look, obviously you are a lot more up on the advocacy and like what's going on when it comes to that side of vaping than I am, right? So I tried to do a little research today, and so the way I understand this COP9 is that there's an organization in the WHO called the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control.
That's correct,
right? And that's the FCTC.
Correct.
Right. And the FCTC has a biannual meeting.
Correct.
That's called the Conference of the Parties.
Correct.
Or COP.
Correct.
And because this is the 9th one, that is where we get COP9 from.
Correct. It's not like a Delta variant or anything like that.
Right.
It's actually COP9.
It's not like Delta. Yeah. But I guess what I don't understand is, like, first of all, if the WHO is in charge of this, that's scary. That's scary right there, because the WHO is very anti-vaping.
Right.
It also seems to be very behind closed doors. Like there's no way to get access to this thing, like what's being said. And like, I guess what's the purpose of this? Why do they do this, and how does it affect us?
So you're absolutely right on the research that you did. This started about 15 years ago, where the WHO developed this framework convention. And the goal of it is to provide governments across the world with guidelines for reducing tobacco usage. This was the goal 15 years ago. Now keep in mind, electronic cigarettes weren't around 15 years ago when this was started. So, and I'm only saying that to keep it in the back of your head. So the goal is, let's get together. Every country chimes in. They tell how they're doing in their country, blah, blah, blah. And then the WHO obviously, gets their propaganda. And you're absolutely right. Not only is it closed doors, you can't get media inside there. You can't get stakeholders inside. Tobacco companies, vapor companies are not allowed. Tobacco harm reduction is not allowed. people like Clive Bates and Gregory Conley. I mean, people that could go in there and give a different perspective on reducing tobacco use. If this is your goal, if your goal is to reduce tobacco usage, vaping should be a big part of that as well too. But the WHO is completely against electronic cigarettes and vaping as a whole. So they have managed to manipulate everybody out of this, and they're basically in their own little bubble saying smoking is bad, vaping is bad. Well, all they're talking about is vaping, by the way. They're not even bringing up smoking at this point. It's just like all vaping. Vaping is bad. Vaping is bad. Vaping is bad. Kids, flavors, ban it, ban it, ban it, ban it. That's exactly what this circle jerk of supposed public health officials is. A couple organizations, 𝗵𝗀 and 𝗂𝗂, and I think one more, during this, since it's going on and they're not allowing our voice to be heard, they're doing like a 4-day stream of these 24-hour streams for 4 days at the same time as COP9, and they're promoting tobacco harm reduction messages via videos, live shows, information. Yeah.
Didn't 𝗵𝗀 just have the rally yesterday?
Yes. There was an 𝗵𝗀 rally yesterday, and then the 7th was in front of the WHO. But I mean, of course, this rally was. I don't think there was like 1,000 people there. It was like 20, 30 people. But it was outside. It was outside as well too. So, but what they're doing is, and the link that I showed you yesterday was on the Scope live stream. Let's see if I can bring this up here. Hopefully the audio still works on the Scope. Yesterday they played the interview that we did in India, which was really, really interesting. It was part of the big stream. But here on Scope live stream, if you want to subscribe to them on YouTube, they're doing these marathons of tobacco harm reduction messages and just talking about what vaping is and how tobacco harm reduction can play an important role in reducing tobacco use, which is the goal of the COP9. And you see a bunch of really cool stuff like this. Let me just play this really quick for everybody, because I think it's very, very important, and it kind of ties in with our scientific question that we always do. When we travel and ask scientists about that important question: what is vaping? How safe is it?
We know that people smoke cigarettes for the nicotine. Smokers are dependent upon nicotine, but nicotine is harmful. They don't die from the nicotine. They die from the toxic chemicals, the carcinogens in burnt tobacco smoke. So my goal has changed radically, and I think many people in this field have changed their goal, and that is to reduce the harm of burnt tobacco. We're no longer looking for abstinence from all forms of cigarette smoking, and we're certainly not looking to prohibit the sale of cigarettes. This harm minimisation policy is well established in New Zealand and elsewhere, and has made major contributions to the health of all New Zealanders. Think of seatbelts, think of safer cars to reduce the impact of car crashes. We're not banning cars, we're not prohibiting, we're not asking people to abstain from driving cars, although that might be coming from a climate point of view. Think of needle exchange for IV drug users to prevent HIV infections. Contentious policy at the time, totally accepted now. Drug testing for pills at festivals, contentious but legal now. And you might even consider vaccination against COVID as a harm minimization strategy, not only to prevent the disease, but also to reduce the harm from once one has acquired COVID. And we know it works. Harm minimization works in public policy, in public health policy.
So, that's the kind of stuff that they've been promoting out there. And again, the guy professor is from Auckland. His name was 𝗵𝗶𝗆, which is very, very, very unfortunate last name. I'm sorry, Professor 𝗵𝗶𝗆. But the message is still powerful, and again, it's good to hear it from other people and not to hear it just from me and Phil all the time.
Did you know that Dr. Fauci actually put flies in a 𝗵𝗶𝗆? Did you know that?
Did he? I didn't know that. I
didn't know if you knew that or not.
No, I can't wait for the hate comments to come. All right, so that's going on. And on a programming note, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, me and Phil are going to join this effort, I think, for an hour with Patrick from Son of Liberty Radio over on the Smoke Free Radio Network. And we're going to participate and do our part for this. That's Thursday, 8 p.m. And then just another programming note, Friday, we're going to be at the 𝗗𝗵𝗶𝗹 show in London. I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern. But check our social media if you want to join in. So Thursday will be serious. Friday it will be both of us in our underwear talking with the UK guys, having fun. So just a little programming note. But anyway, yeah. So we'll wait and see until this thing is over with and see what kind of policies are enacted and try to get some more information. And we'll follow up on this here next week or maybe the week after.
Were there really only 30 people at the INCO rally?
Yeah, but I mean, it was. I mean, don't expect there's going to be any. I mean, it's difficult, especially in Europe, to get people to travel, that far. I mean, the very passionate people were there. Maybe it was a little bit less too, but I mean, it is what it is. The message was there. All right, so let me go back to what I wanted to talk about today, and the tax. Yeah.
By the way, just a programming note, because we started this contest, I don't know, about like half a year ago. We are going to do the mod count tonight.
Yes, we are going to do. We have a final number on the mod count. I don't even remember. Maybe Bill can remind me what the prize is. If Bill, if you remember what the prize is, and then after we give the number, maybe Marshall and Craig can go through there and see who got close to it without going over.
Craig.
And if anybody posts a response today after we give the number, yeah, you're a moron. All right, so the tax, right? We had a big tax that was introduced by the Democrats on tobacco. This was about 2-3 weeks ago, and of course, it covered cigarettes, it covered loose leaf tobacco, it covered electronic cigarettes. And that was yanked. Apparently, the White House said that they had no idea that this was going to be, and then they pulled the entire thing out. Guess what? It's back. But it's back with all the cigarettes removed, Phil. They removed everything that had cigarettes. And it's just taxing nicotine. This would make, if this bill is enacted, it was not in the infrastructure bill. A lot of people thought it was in the infrastructure bill that passed a couple days ago, but it's not. This is a completely different thing. But it's back, but just taxing nicotine would make a 60 ml bottle, if I'm not mistaken, close to $73 for a 60 ml bottle. If you buy. Make it rain. But this is John 𝗷𝗵𝗶𝗹. He's a Democrat from Kentucky. He is the chairman of the House Budget Committee. This is a thread by the American Vapor manufacturers on Twitter. He's directly responsible for inserting this vape tax back into the spending bill. And funny enough, this guy is the founder of something called the Congressional Bourbon Caucus, which is explicitly designed to promote liquor drinking and protect whiskey from being taxed. He told CNN he was drinking bourbon to fortify himself when he worked on the legislation. So while he was deciding to fuck the industry and the vapors, he was drinking bourbon just to fortify himself. But anyway, so this is the guy that brought it back on. The reason why I bring this up is that 𝗂𝗃 has put a call to action. If you go to the 𝗂𝗃 webpage, there is a very, very easy way for you to get involved. This is what I do down here. You can see my name. Whoop, you just saw my address, whatever. I don't care. But this is my representative. The message is already there. You can just send the email, and it goes to all your representatives on this. That way to fight this. There's also some telephone numbers on there if you want to call. I mean, the best way to do this is to call. But if the only thing that you can do is send an email, please do that, and let's just try to nip this in the bud. And again, this is another portion of squeezing the industry. It's like everywhere we turn, it's just like one more obstacle. The PACT Act came into effect, the USPS banning, FedEx banning. It's just like now here's a huge tax that's being introduced. I mean, it's like they can't make us go away, and they're trying their hardest. I saw today a study that came out on a specific area on the 𝗂𝗃 cases. Out of the 59 cases, not one, all of them were THC related, and not one nicotine vaping product was found containing vitamin acetate E. which is a huge, again, without no PR, who's going to find out? Just me, you, and the DP show listening crowd. But it was a very, very telling. And the person that asked is like, why hasn't this gotten out? Is really funny because the CDC will take every opportunity they can to make vaping look bad because they haven't been able to squash this any other way. So they huge PR campaign from them last year. Stop all vaping products. Stop all nicotine products. You can die from lung disease. Now that all this data has come out and we have all these studies, not a fucking peep, not a word from them, nothing. And unfortunately, we don't have the power to promote it as well too. But again, this nicotine tax, another portion of number one, going against Biden's promise, right? Unless he's thinking that I'm taxing the big tobacco companies, which would make sense because that they are above the 400 whatever threshold 400,000 threshold. But alongside with that, you're taxing 97% of the industry, which is small business and small entrepreneurs. That would be devastating for them, but mostly devastating for the consumers. Making the product very, very expensive would put it beyond their reach in order for them to purchase it. And the reason why I bring this up is because just the other day I saw an announcement from Altria that made me really giggle. Phil, this really made me laugh a lot. So they met with Philip Morris met with the FDA. And if you remember the last DP show, I said that IQOS has been authorized for sale by the FDA, but unfortunately, due to the patent dispute with RJR, with British American Tobacco, they have to remove the product from the market by December 27th. They have to take everything off the market as far as the IQOS. And the company went to the FDA to make a case that, hey, we can't remove these products from the market for various reasons. But one of the reasons that I found really, really funny was, so they met with the FDA, which is really nice. I mean, obviously they can get a meeting anytime they want to. If I request a meeting, I go 6 months down the line if I get a meeting in person and not some kind of a Zoom. But obviously it's the latest patent dispute with British American Tobacco. And then by the November 29th, they told them that they have to remove all the products from the market. But Philip Morris wanted to go and make a case for the product. So one of the things that they told the FDA is the company's argument to keep selling IQOS includes the public health benefit of the device. Altria said it counts 20,000 U.S. consumers as users of the device and say they could revert back to cigarettes if IQOS disappears from the shelves.
Unbelievable.
We are pretty convinced that the vast majority will go back to smoking cigarettes, Misha said. It actually comes close to the taste and ritual of a cigarette, which is why we have a very strong conversion of smokers that switch to IQOS. So that's a little bit PR-ish, the way that they say it. We don't sell flavors like the other guys, right? But my question is this. 20,000, and they know, Phil. I'm going to tell you how they know. Every IQOS has a QR code. Everybody that buys one, it's to them. They get patterns. They get use. Every time they charge it, they pull data. I mean, these guys, they know. They know. In fact, side note, in Greece, my cab driver was mad at them because he was sitting at a table with another IQOS user and by mistake picked up his charging case. Not his, but his friend's charging case. And the charging case broke. So, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, the charging case broke. So IQOS has this, we'll return it policy. If it's broke, we'll fix it. No way. So he goes there, they scan it, and it's not his. So they say, I'm sorry, sir, we cannot exchange it. He's like, well, I mean, somebody has mine. No, I'm sorry. This is how I got sidetracked. But anyway, this is how they know that they have 20,000 users in America.
Sure.
My question to you is, how many people use vaping products in America? Look, I wish I could answer that as well, too, but unfortunately, our industry is so incapable. Our industry is so amateuristic. Our industry is such a cesspool that I can't tell you how many vapors are. But I will tell you that there's more than 20,000 vapors.
Absolutely.
Right? 2 million? 2.5 million? I don't know what the number is. I know there's more than 20,000 vapors.
I guess we don't count.
What are we? Are we not humans? You're removing the products from the market that we use. These 2.7 million. Again, I don't know what the number is.
As opposed to 20,000.
Yeah,
million.
I mean, I don't know what the number is.
Take our flavors away. Take our devices away.
Right. And who's making an argument on behalf of these people, of these millions of people that use flavored open vapor products to stay off cigarettes? Who is making our case? This is the irony. This goes back to your original question, is like, you know, who's against? Everybody's against us, man. Everybody's against us. And this industry has to realize that, you know, without science, without PR, without the proper message, without greasing the right hands, we're never going to win. We're not going to win. These guys put out one PR meeting, a meeting with the FDA, and it's published on every fucking, you know, news site that is out there. You know, that was CNBC that I showed you, but I can show you another 20 websites that picked up that same story. And with their little PR touch inside where, oh, yeah, ours is just like a cigarette. So, you know, it's easy for us to convert smokers versus the guys, you know, that sell the kitty stuff, the flavors and the mangoes and that shit. That was all part. Don't think, I mean, they have professional PR writers for them on these press releases. But 20,000 users. So their argument over this $1 billion patent suit is 20K people. 20,000. And now that the number is not significant. Don't get me wrong. It's tobacco harm reduction, whether you like it or not, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to argue that with you. It's a safer product than cigarettes. Not as safe as vaping, but it's a safer product with cigarettes. So 20,000. But who's going to make the argument on? Where's our press release that says, motherfuckers, there's over 2 million people that use these products and you're taking them off the market?
Right. I mean, if that argument wins them the case, right? If that argument allows them to use the products that they're so concerned with these 20,000 people that are going to go back to smoking, then can't we use substantial equivalents in the vaping world? I mean, we got millions of people that could go back to smoking.
Yeah.
We're seeing the numbers of people going back to smoking.
Absolutely.
But I agree with you that the problem is that they're very directed. They're very data driven. They have the numbers. They have the, you know, I would say there might be one company in the US that can track that kind of data. And I think that would be Evolve, wouldn't it? Because they actually maintain data and gather data on the boards and how people are using the boards.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. From a scientific perspective, most of the people that use open vapor don't use one device. Where IQOS users only use one device. So you can get a pattern. But if I have 10 devices in front of me, one of them has a DNA chip, I'm most likely not going to be using that same device all the time.
Yeah,
Number two, yeah, I'm just being completely honest with you. I mean, I wish I could like support what you're saying, and I like Evolve, you know that. But number two, the DNA device has a 510 connection. So, what do you have on top?
Right.
I can probably can pull the resistance, right? It can probably pull the puff duration. It can probably pull the wattage. But what liquid are you using inside? You know what I'm saying? Because you have that 510 open source on top, it's kind of impossible to get accurate statistics of the person using the device daily over a period of time that can show that they've quit smoking and they've transitioned to this product full time, which is a huge problem with the FDA during the way that the PMTA process is set up.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, at least a little bit of props to Evolve for trying.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, no doubt about it.
But you're absolutely right. If you look at the habits of vapors, they're not going to. Most of them are not going to use a single device or a single tank or a single way to vape. Some will, so they'll have data on that. But most will not.
I'm using 4 devices right now. I'm using 4 devices right now.
Yeah.
I think most of the people that are watching are probably doing the same thing. Yeah. Brad, Brad, it just hit the nail on the head right here. We're the dirty smokers who don't pay the taxes. There you go. Period. Yeah. There you go. That describes our biggest problem.
How many times have I said that? They look at us as just a bunch of dirty smokers, and they can't wait for us to all die away.
Comment from Pam. I was at the hospital last week. I had to stand in the smoking section outside to have a quick vape. Security came over and told me I'm not allowed to vape on hospital property, but smoking is okay. Wow. You know, these are the times where you have to call like a news station to come down there, and be a Karen. You know, be a Karen. I mean, I talked about it with Peggy the other day. I said, Peggy, because Peggy told me I'm going to keep doing this until they come and lock me up. And I said, baby, when they do, I didn't say baby. But I said, Peggy, I said, when they do, please call us. We'll come down there and we'll call the station. We need people to get arrested for helping people quit smoking. This is the only way we can get free PR, you know? Honestly, this is the only way to get there on news media and say, look, they're taking me to jail while I'm trying to help this. You know, Peggy has a customer that's like 90 years old. She says she uses disposables because, you know, she's too old to do anything else. So, but I said, you know, here I am trying to help somebody that's 90 years old stay off cigarettes, and you're going to take me to jail. I mean, that would be, if news does not pick that up, I don't know what we have to do. I mean,
yeah, but you know what though? I'm going to be devil's advocate here, Dave, because I see the direction of the way everything's going. If it does not fit mainstream media's narrative, it gets swept under the carpet. So even a story like that will not be shown.
I think the shock value would be like if Dan Donahue pours, you know, kerosene on him, like stuff like, I think that shock value would I think that would make it. I think it would make it. Look at some of these comments here. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. Neil Pitts, I use at least 9 different devices a day. JT, I'm using 3. Steve, I'm using 4 devices right now. Bridget, I use 3 to 5 devices a day. Glenn Watson, I'm on 5. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is what it's impossible. The structure of the PMTA is not made for us dirty vapors. It's not, because we don't use one product to quit smoking and continue to use that same product, where the IQOS does, right? It's one product. There's no variations. Yeah. It's just one product. You have to use it to heat your tobacco, and they can pull that data off of there. That's why the PMTA got approved as well too.
Dimitri uses 5 different devices a day, and 2 of which he vapes with.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely correct. So, anyway, so that was the meeting with Philip Morris with the FDA. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know where this is going to go. I just thought I'd bring it up because I saw that 20,000 user, and I smirked to myself. I even tweeted about it today. Got 11 retweets, which was fantastic, right? got 11.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how much longer are we going to are we going to bang our heads into the wall and get nowhere? I don't know. Like, look, I don't know the answer. It's the definition of insanity when you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and you don't change your method, right? It's the definition of insanity. Like how do we make a difference? How do you get your voice heard? What is there left to do? Who are there? Look, 𝗂𝗃 putting out that call to action. Is that how they're justifying their existence now? Is that every now and then
it's always been like that though for 𝗂𝗃, and financially, and listen, I mean, look, I'm not, you know me, I'm not against 𝗂𝗃. We've raised money for that.
I'm not against any group that will try to help.
We're talking about a group that's basically running on $60,000 to $100,000 a year or whatever. I mean, they don't have the power to do anything. Amanda Wheeler's trying with AVM to make a difference, but financially, we're not in a position now where we were 2-3 years ago to take some serious money and spend it. We just don't have the money. That's what it boils down to. So to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know if anything can be done at this point. I really don't. That I'm being a defeatist. You know me, I'm still doing these shows. I'm still getting involved. I'm still tweeting. I'm still doing my part with TSFA. I'm running the association for my 8th year next year here in Tennessee. But I'm doing my part. But my answer is I just don't know at this point. Even 𝗂𝗃 with a limited budget, this is what they do. They put out a call to action. This is what we have. They're trying to do some podcasts. They get minimal viewership. I mean, it is what it is. Is it making a difference? I don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody has done anything that has made a significant difference in our industry in the last decade, like an impactful difference where it would change the direction of the FDA. And as long as the PMTA exists, we're fucked.
And when you look at us, I mean, our voices are small. We're relatively insignificant, but you have some big voices, some big scientists, some big studies, some positive studies on vaping. Even that goes nowhere. And again, because it doesn't fit their narrative, it gets swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think it kind of goes back to maybe the only thing that will work is the public service announcements, right?
PR.
The PR campaign where our industry is putting money there to get our voices heard, because it's not being heard any other way.
But you know what happens is, and what we've seen in the past as well too, Phil, is that even advocacy orgs, all of them, including 𝗂𝗧, compete for money. I'm just being completely honest. And you know, when we finally put this book out, I'll dive into this a little bit more. But the truth is that when somebody tries to do something positive for this industry, even the orgs get a little bit jealous. Even the other people that are running some, you know, doing their own thing get jealous and they try to go. I mean, we saw it with 𝗬𝗂𝗍 USA, right? We saw that. I mean, we have concrete evidence to show you that people in these advocacy orgs bypassed us to go directly to get money from the Chinese, and which hurt our cause. I mean, we have it. Concrete proof. It's just not necessary to put it out there now because people are still working. But even advocacy orgs are competing for and 𝗧𝗏. I mean, I can say that because the person that did it is no longer there. I mean, concrete proof, like blackmailing Chinese companies that they were not. They will tell their members not to buy their products if they don't donate money to 𝗧𝗏. I mean, we have concrete evidence. I'm not just making this shit up. So even if somebody
is there still a 𝗬𝗏? Are they still?
Yeah, there's still. It's changed board like 17 times in the last 2 years, but it's still there. Absolutely.
We should have a 𝗬𝗏 member on.
Well, we did. We had Dave 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗃, but he left as well too. So he's with the AVM.
Well, and what I'm saying is we should have somebody new come on the show and talk about what they're doing.
Sure.
And by the way, there's a couple of people that are talking about the Aries too. And you know what, guys, look, if you, Leah, let me break in here. If you guys appreciate the things that me and Dimitri do, the fact that we're still here, doing the show, if you like the fact that we're doing the VDLV videos, the science videos, where nicotine comes from, traveling all over the place, sharing everything with you. I'm not even asking you to smash the like button, and we never ask you for super chats. That's just not the way we do things, right? Because there's a lot of other guys out there that just beg for fucking super chats during their entire shows, okay? If you can go out and buy one of those tanks, if you could support Innokin, if you could support the platform products, if you could tell your local vape shop, hey, you know what? The two guys behind this stuff, they're pretty good guys, and they fought for the industry for a long time, and maybe you should carry their products. That would really help us. And be sure to try out Watermelon Peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, available right now from Dash Vapes. You should go out and you should get some. And by the way, we do have 3 new flavors coming. It's very exciting.
We do.
3 new flavors. So not only will I have the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, I will soon have the #1 and #2 best-selling flavors in the unsalted line. But I am serious about the platform stuff, guys. Like even the Aries too. The tank's been out for a while, okay? I had somebody just send me an email. Like, I can't believe I waited so long to get an Aries 2. I just love the tank. I just love it. It's rock solid. It works really good. It's good. It's got good flavor. And you know what? There's a couple good guys behind it too, and a good company. So it's a great way to support the things that we do.
Are we done with the commercial?
Yeah,
I'm vaping on Aries right now. 21700 Chroma. It's fantastic. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I just told you this the other day, by the way. But anyway, back to what we were saying. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of competition for dollars, and the smaller the industry gets, and the more people are banking or not spending money on advocacy, then it gets even more tighter. Even if somebody comes up with a revolutionary idea, like we did a couple years ago with Phil and Brent Stafford and Matt Culley and all that, we had this PR campaign all set up. At the time, VTA was one of the reasons. I'm going to say one of the reasons. VTA was one of the reasons why that campaign did not utilize, and it never became a reality, because the org was directly competing to get those dollars instead of us, because we had the idea and we didn't involve VTA, which is the same thing that happened with 𝗧𝗏 and 𝗂𝗧 and all these other people. But it's unfortunate, but that's just. Again, it's the reality. I get it. They need money as well to do whatever they're doing. So, when somebody comes up with something that's not involving them, they try to bash it. They try to, look at the attack that I got from Stefan Didak and the Legion back in the day about big tobacco. Me and Phil.
Hey, I was there with you, man.
Because of what we were doing. And a lot of that was just to smear my name. Because we were doing something very positive with 𝗬𝗂𝗍 USA, and we were trying to bring a lot of money in from the Chinese manufacturers, and it got boycotted from our industry. The reason why 𝗬𝗂𝗍 USA failed I blame everybody. I blame the orgs. I blame the reviewers. I blame the distributors. I blame a lot of people on why that failed. But ultimately, it goes back to the same evil that we're fighting, and that's money. Yeah. I said what I had to say. I'm not going to say anymore.
No, you're right.
Well, yeah.
I was talking to somebody. It's actually the security company. They had to do something at the house the other day, and I was talking to them, and the wife of the guy, and she was talking to me about we first started talking about CBD because they know I'm involved with vape, and they know how I'm not against CBD, THC, Delta 8, all that stuff. I'm not against it. I just don't think it should be combined, and it's getting combined more and more every day. And she was telling me how the Delta 8 that she's using like really helps her. She has like really high anxiety, strong anxiety. I'm like, that's great. Like, I think that's great. But here's the not great thing, right?
Yeah.
She was also talking to me about the fact that she has a prescription, so she's able to, go to the dispensary and get things legally. But like, she's telling me about all of these, like these gummies and the gummy worms and the gummy bears and the like little candies and the chocolates and that. I'm like, how is that okay? And like our stuff isn't, right? Because they're making money with it, right? Because it's tax.
For sure.
It's just like everything these days has just an incredible double standard. It's so glaring, like how people aren't losing their fucking minds at this point when you see all of these double standards and all of the hypocrisy that's out there. It's just, that's why this is why I need to stay off the internet, right? Yeah. And I need to turn off the news because it drives me crazy. It kind of goes back to the study of like, the kids and they're using nicotine and they're being depressed. No, I don't think that has anything to do with kids being depressed today. I think it's the society that we live in. It's the fact that mainstream media is trying to tear us apart every chance that they get. It's all of these goddamn social media sites that they need to stay up on and post on. And when you look at these sites, right, when you look at somebody's Facebook page, everything is rosy, right? Because that's what most people do. They just put the bright side out there. They don't let you into the dark side. It's just things are bad, and I don't see them improving. And it's not just vaping, right? And the DP show is not just vaping. It's not just vaping. That we're in trouble with.
No, it's not. It really is. By the way, I gave Peggy DP when she came by Sunday.
You what? You Peggy? Do you DP Peggy? What'd you say? What'd you say?
I gave her a DP show. Cool.
Oh, okay. How did it feel, Peggy? You DP Peggy it. Without me? How dare you?
She loved it. She loved it. She barely felt anything, but she loved it.
Oh my god!
All right, the last piece of serious information that I have, and then we'll get into some fun stuff. Is my favorite congressman, man, 𝗷𝗵𝗶𝗪𝗂. This guy is just unbelievable. He is just completely like in a time of like opiate crisis, COVID. He's just, he's going after vaping, and he's going after synthetic nicotine now, which, hey, congratulations to Puff Bars for basically announcing to the world that they're using synthetic nicotine, which, is true, though. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Good for them. He's launching an investigation into the production and the sale of unregulated synthetic nicotine. He sent 2 letters, right? He sent one letter to Puff Bars, which, by the way, let me tell you what the response is going to be from Puff. This is going to be the response from Puff Bars on their letters. This right here. That's exactly what the response is going to be. He said Puff Bars. And he sent a letter to Tully from Next Generation Labs that makes synthetic nicotine. And I mean, this is just him, flexing like he always does. But and honestly, I don't think what he can do without any congressional power, because it's clearly not defined. And I saw Tully's response, and actually I really liked Tully's response. I saw him in an article be quoting saying, hey, listen, it's not our fault that due to the laws that you created, that this product is not, covered under that. He said, we'd love to have some kind of a viable pathway for this product to be available for smokers. And I think that's absolutely correct what he said. But don't blame me, the inability of Congress not to cover synthetic nicotine in the Tobacco Control Act, because they didn't. And of course, something is going to happen with synthetic nicotine. They're just not going to allow this product to be around like it is now. But wouldn't it be a great opportunity right now for synthetic nicotine to be a discussion into the FDA as a tobacco harm reduction movement and not fall under the PMTA scope? Meaning, okay, well, I'm producing with synthetic nicotine. Give me GMP guidelines. Give me some manufacturing parameters for my liquids, and let me comply with the FDA on a strict regulatory framework, if you want to call it that. I mean, it doesn't have to go extreme like longitudinal studies and cohort studies, what they're asking now. But it's a great opportunity for synthetic nicotine to make a move here and say, hey, listen, if you're going to create a different pathway through the FDA, we'll go ahead and get regulated under the FDA as well, too.
You know what I think the problem is going to be?
What?
The fact that they're calling it synthetic nicotine.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
yeah,
you know what they should call it? They should call it delta theta kappa lambda 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 12. Right? Call it that, and maybe they'll leave it alone, right? But you call it synthetic nicotine, they're fucking coming after you.
Delta 69. 69.
Yeah, 69. It's a great number. That's the year I was born.
Delta
great number.
69. All right. So
do you know that there's a lock on my house? No, I can't say that. I can't tell everybody that. No, never mind.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Pull it back. 𝗵𝗶𝗹 response, you have wrong number in this parking garage. Yes. Absolutely. Hey, listen, I mean, I don't blame 𝗵𝗶𝗹, man. Let it make the money, whatever. I mean, it's clearly a failure from the FDA when they didn't include disposable. I mean, they banned the flavored pods, right, which was stupid, right? And then, of course, Juul and all the other companies bent over backwards for the FDA. They put a little spit on their butthole and told FDA, okay, come and fuck us. We're going to remove these products. And they did. So that'll just open up the door for these disposables because they're not banned to come and dominate the market. So again, it's regulatory failure that has caused a lot of these issues, but good for them and good for Ron Tully and good for everybody that's using it. It's fucking the FDA right now. But warning, it's not going to be like that forever. I mean, obviously there's...
I had dinner with Larry's not on the show. I don't know why.
He's probably sleeping. He had early day. He's probably asleep already.
So I had dinner with Larry the other day, and we were talking about like, let's see if we can get some synthetic nicotine. Right? Let's do. We'll call it limited edition flavors. We'll do 160 ml bottles a month. We'll advertise it on this show. Very easy. People can order. You know, and just a little side money using synthetic nicotine until they come down, and then we stop.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not talking about building an ISO lab because apparently that nobody gives a fuck about that,
ISO
right?
Lab.
You know, spending money on a beautiful lab with all kinds of equipment and good manufacturing practices that got you nowhere.
Shit.
So
make it in the pool house. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Call it 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹 synthetic.
I like that.
That's a good
creamy
name.
synthetic. That's it.
That's a great name. Bill says, no, who was it? Oh, Marshall says, call it perpetual wood. You have politicians lining up. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So yeah, that's what I had with 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝗹. He's going to be opening up an investigation on synthetic nicotine. So of course we're going to be monitoring that and let you know what comes of it. But it is what it is, folks. The pressure continues, and good or bad news, we're definitely going to keep you at least educated. By the way, thanks to everybody that came over from the ST show. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us over here.
Scott,
I was watching one of their shows the other day. I think it was from Sunday, and I mean you can see even in I watch a lot of stuff. I don't comment a lot of times, but I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. You know me, I try to keep up with everything that's going on. Even with these guys in their show, you could tell that, like, there's a little bit of I mean, they like to have fun and all that, but you can tell that the excitement, that high energy, it's not there.
It's not there anymore.
It's not. You can see in the reviews, you can see it in the live shows that are happening. It's just that passion that it's very, very difficult to keep that up.
It is.
Peggy tried to tag us on Facebook. Go ahead. By the way, Phil's been having a lot of tag. Like, apparently, in the midst of a pandemic, Phil's biggest issue is that he can't tag me from his PC. Like, my name. This is why Phil's upset. I'm gonna tell you why. So when you bring up Facebook, right here, when you bring up Facebook, and I put here, if I hit tag, there's nothing coming up.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem right there.
So Phil doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to type two letters.
No.
He wants the number because I always came up first. My name always came up first, and Phil's name came as well too.
No, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
Right?
It's the truth.
No, it's some bullshit. I'm gonna go over here to my Facebook page, right?
Why are you using a white background?
I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna click this. No suggestions. Okay, look, 𝗍𝗵𝗶𝗹. There's no 𝗍𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗧𝗜. If I type @ there's no 𝗍𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗧𝗜. That's my fucking problem.
Put 𝗍𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗧𝗜. Just 𝗍𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗧𝗜.
Okay, just 𝗍𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗧𝗜.
Yeah.
With an @ or no?
No.
Nothing. I'm not making the shit up, dude.
Bro, it's a conspiracy.
Bro, I'm telling you, like they're either it's something about you. Do you have some kind of privacy thing? But
no,
it works on my cell phone. It works on my cell phone.
Right. If I was a privacy, it wouldn't work. Mike got a strike. Mike, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, bro. I'm sorry you missed it.
We did, Mike.
But yeah, that's Phil's biggest issue. Right? He can't tag. But anyway, Paggy, it doesn't make any difference. It's the thought that counts. So we appreciate you. And it's just something small that I could do. Just a little DP for you. That's all I could do for you. So hope you enjoy.
I had dinner with Larry and his wife and Mo. Larry and Mo.
All right, let's get to these videos. We got some other stuff that maybe we didn't show you or not. Number one, my first comment. From leaf to liquid, almost 5,000 views. Which is fantastic, and
nice.
Scientific video. And this is what's funny. This is what's funny about this proposition. I told Phil when we were shooting this video, we're in France. I said, Phil, we're gonna do this differently. We're not gonna combine, which would make more sense, like we did with the Alpha Liquid video, which was an hour long, to put the entire company under one video. And I said, Phil, no, because science is just not sexy. It just does not sell. And that's why we're seeing the numbers are completely different. The scientific video obviously has a lot more important information about vaping. You get to talk to the scientists. They talk about the process. They talk about the work that they're doing. It's just simply not.
So that was Dimitri's idea. And but let me give you a little behind the scenes, stuff that Dimitri doesn't know. So I had been working on that video for hours and hours and hours. And then, I don't know, 85% of the way done, he's like, you know what? Let's not include the scientists in the video.
Yeah.
And so I very simply wrote, okay, let's do that. And then I proceeded to this motherfucking Greek son of a bitch, goddamn cocksucker. He has no fucking idea how much fucking work I have in this video. That bastard. So that's really how it went. But behind the scene, I'm sorry, that was a lot of explicitives.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
But I'm being truthful. Truthful.
But I think we made the right decision because you see what the difference is. I think what the problem is, Phil. I think from now on, what we need to do is include when we're doing scientific videos. I think we need to put this chick inside. This is exactly what we need to a beautiful, sexy woman scientist with a test beaker of love potion.
That is a great idea.
Fresh for Valentine's.
Should have been the thumbnail.
That should have been the thumbnail. In fact, you should change that thumbnail and see if it gets more views. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed. I'm not disappointed. Totally expected on that. But the scientific video, we covered. I think in these 30 minutes, we covered a lot of the work that they do. And I want to bring up some of the comments from both of the videos. But we're going to start with the scientific video first. Okay. So a lot of really nice comments from everybody. Deeply impressed with this company. What this company is doing is actually what Dr. 𝗶𝗀 has been asking for years. Standards, a protocol that any scientist can use, a standardized process that anyone can replicate and achieve correct results. Many congratulations. Fantastic job. Great video. Excellent. I wish they would come up with a good substitute for replacing diacetyl. Yeah, I mean, there isn't. I mean, anything that's going to taste good, Jason, is going to have diacetyl. I mean, that's just an unfortunate side effect. That's just the way it's going to be. What they did say is that they are using a product that has diacetyl, but very, very low level. So you can still get the sweetness. It's not going to be buttery like eating a cheesecake in your mouth, but sometimes you're going to have to compensate.
Hey, before you go any further, come back to me because they actually told us a very interesting story about diacetyl. Do you remember this? What they said that they did some research on diacetyl and they increased the amount, right, to the point where it couldn't be, you couldn't tell anymore, right? So it didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Right. And the point where they got there was at a reasonable diacetyl level. Right. So they basically concluded based on that information is that there are a lot of e-liquid companies that are putting way too much flavoring, way too much diacetyl flavoring in the liquids, and it doesn't have to be there.
Yes, right? That's exactly what they said. But of course, you know, I mean, people like that flavor. I mean, they like that sweetness that it produces. So, love how the distinguished gentleman at the start of the video started vaping is definitely the way for this book. I think it was a really good idea from Phil. It did at the beginning and at the end. Hi Phil. Unfortunately, I still live in Rochester. Is there any way I can buy your e-liquid here? Since I can't have it mailed here anymore.
Yes, Dash Vapes. Dash Vapes does have the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, and here is the bottle right here. It's fabulous.
Dashvapes.com.
Really,
absolutely
delicious.
It's a little bit expensive shipping from Canada, but it's not going to be as expensive as when the nicotine tax passes. How do we get all this science to our stupid politicians? From James Corellis. I mean, this is a great question. I mean, all we can do is shoot it. I mean, I don't know what else we can possibly do, James. We were hoping that somebody from the industry might pick this up and spread, but not even the orgs are spreading. Not even manufacturing associations are spreading this video, which is a little bit ironic. But nobody adheres to what these guys are doing here in America. This is what 𝗵𝗄𝗃 should have been when 𝗵𝗄𝗃 was launched in America. I'm sorry, I'm got a lot of stingers today, but that's the absolute truth, whether you like it or not, and you know that I'm right. Paul says another brilliant episode. Vaping is growing fast. They're trying to stop it. Apathy Miller really enjoyed the series. It's great seeing places doing it right. Like all the AFNOR quality labelized French vaping companies, VDLV is doing it right. Marshall says, did you happen to ask what temperature formaldehyde starts forming? This is a really good question that I wanted to bring up and kind of just put my notes on it. They are working on it. We can't tell you, and I'm going to tell you why I can't give you a number right now, because it has to be product specific, Marshall. So what they're doing is, if you saw when the scientist was talking about this scale, right? This scale is it's going to be open source for everybody, but this scale is going to cover mouth to lung, restricted direct lung, resistance, type of wire, airflow. Once we get all this data, depending on the usage, you'll have a scale that says from this range to this range, from a 0.2, from 40 watts to 60 watts, this is the ideal range for you not to develop anything that we're seeing that's developing over 60 watts. They're not there yet. But they are working on that, and that's why I didn't answer it directly. I was going to answer it today on the show. I can't give you a number because it really depends on the device and the coil and the feeding method and the flow, and this is just too many variables to give you an answer now. But if it's tasting bad and burnt, it's probably producing formaldehyde. What is AFNOR, right? AFNOR, there's another question that was posted on there. AFNOR is basically the 𝗵𝗄𝗃 of France. So if you go to afnor.org, this is their website. You can see that there are some companies that are certified. You can see everybody that's certified in France. VDLV is definitely not the only one. Okay, there's multiple companies. Alpha Liquid is another one, and I'm sure there's others as well too. But AFNOR basically has created a set of standards that these companies have to adhere by, and then once you are qualified and you are certified, then you can put that label on your bottles. You can create the marketing direction that, hey, listen, my bottle is adhering to the standards that AFNOR has created, and we definitely highly encourage that. It's something that 𝗵𝗄𝗃 was planning into doing here. I keep bringing it up, but yeah, that's what AFNOR is, and VDLV is a leader since the beginning. They were one of the first ones to get certified. So I hope that answers another question that we're going to see in another video. So on the VDLV video, Phil, just great work. It's just a fantastic video, a lot of information, and I really I was very, very pleased to see the process of going from leaf to liquid. Something that it was exciting. I mean, like, first of all, thank you very much for the compliment, because I get so few from you. It feels really, really good to get one from you. But it was, I mean, like I meant what I said at the beginning of the video. We've shown people so many things when it comes to the vaping industry. You've seen pretty much everything from us. The one thing that you haven't seen is how you get from that leaf to the liquid. So not only was I excited to share that with people, but I was excited to see it myself, right? Because I had no idea. Who knew? Like they
put tobacco leaves in a grape press and like out comes the nicotine. I don't know. I don't know how it comes, but it was really interesting to see that. And it was also interesting to see how like complicated a process it is, right? Yeah. Because when you saw that big coffee maker, right, that came from Charlie's head. That came from his mind. That's not something that you go on on Amazon and buy. That came from that guy's head. So it's an incredibly complex process, and even more complex because they're doing it in a green way, right? So it was great to see it for myself, and even better to share it with all of you guys.
Absolutely. Let me pull this back up over here and over here. Look at some of the comments. Wow, this was awesome. Very eye-opening. Love the video. Don says awesome work. I don't know what that freebase is. Well, I'm going to try this liquid. Thank you, Phil, for bringing us this consumer. Thank you. Thanks for showing us how the process is extracted. He would like to know more about synthetic nicotine and the difference between freebase and synthetic. I think that we should, I mean, again, I don't know how deep we can go into synthetic. I don't know how much people would want to talk about it. I do know a couple of people that make it, including Ron Tonley. We could invite him to come on the show and maybe talk about synthetic nicotine if you feel that would be something.
Sure. I
mean, I would like to do that. I just don't know how much information, because it is a proprietary formula. Everybody has patents and all kinds of shit like that. So, but I'm sure they would be able to do something.
Actually, that's an interesting thing that you just said. It's a proprietary formula and everybody has patents. So does that mean that there are numerous ways and numerous different synthetic nicotines out there?
Absolutely.
Much like like salt nicotine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a huge problem for the FDA as well too, which I don't know if you know this. It's very hard to distinguish synthetic nicotine from regular nicotine. Because the molecules are so similar. So there might be, I'm not saying that they are, maybe I am. There might be products on the market today in America that are claiming they're using synthetic nicotine, but they're using freebase. I'm not saying that it's happening. All I'm saying is that it's possible.
That's a conspiracy. That's a Dimitri conspiracy theory right there.
Not really a conspiracy. But anyway, all right. VDLV line is sold domestically at Breathe Vape Lounge. It's the cleanest liquid I've ever had, says D&D. I don't know where that Breathe Vape Lounge is, but that's pretty cool to hear. Thanks a lot. I love the science. Very interesting. Thank you, Phil. Love the video. Very educational. Interesting to learn. Amazing video. Really interesting, says your BFF, Melissa. Absolutely love what they do and their process in helping the environment.
Thank you, Melissa.
Big thank you. Fantastic video. This was awesome. Love your work. Feel like I'm eating like fucking Reclac cheese over here. Very impressive. Thank you for filming the tour for the laboratory, says Sonia. I wish 5 pounds would go back to naturally extracted tobacco, says Jason. That's really interesting. Maybe we should send Jay that. I always love their liquid, but the TFN has a definite impact on the taste. Although I understand why they did it. Thank you for the informative video. Love the environmental responsibility. Great video. Shows the details and science it takes to produce the cleanest, safest nicotine you can get. Thank you for the tour. Very informative. I'm beyond amazing. Merci beaucoup, says Yanni. Bam bam. Very proud of the French tech. Really interesting. Probably one of the most important videos you've made in the effort to awaken the public to what's going into our e-liquid and the measures the industry takes to make sure vaping is safe, says Tony. Very, very great comment. I really, really appreciate that. Amazing video. Clean facility. Fantastic tour. New York government took my vape rights away like I live in China. It has nothing to do with the video, but definitely agree with you there, buddy.
But you know what, though? You think about those comments. So I've said many times that I am so appreciative for the people that watch my videos, that watch the show. And that is a perfect example. Like one bonehead comment there. I appreciate you guys. That's as far as I'll go.
Yeah. All right. So I, all the comments were very, very positive, and you can see there's not. I don't think there's a thumbs down on those videos, which is very, very surprising for one of our videos. But let me just double check that to make sure. I mean that video has 381 thumbs up, no thumbs down, and the scientific video has 85 and no thumbs down. But
Right. Whatever. Now there's people that are headed there right now.
That's okay. I mean, even a thumbs down, it helps the algorithms, whatever. I mean, at least we're getting some action on the video. I'm just very, very disappointed the scientific video, I mean, in 24 hours hasn't broken 1,000 views. It's so deflating, guys. You just don't understand how deflating it is. And hopefully when the companies share it in Europe, some more people will see it. But you know, you asked earlier how we're going to win. Well, we're definitely not going to win like this. Like, this video should be going out to politicians saying, hey, look, you know, we know what's going on in this liquid, and there's a whole lot more being done by some companies to protect the consumer and create a set of manufacturing standards to assure that the product that the consumer is getting is done to the absolute specs. Yeah.
Yeah, tools don't work unless you build something with them, folks, you know?
Yeah.
And again, we're trying to give you guys some of the tools. We're putting them out there. We're sharing them as much as we possibly can. And then we just hope that they get picked up and utilized and used, you know. But we've seen this on scale, like a billion lives. We've seen it on that scale, right? Where, you know, you got a major motion picture and production work and all that, and that doesn't go anywhere. So, you know, once again, it's I just feel like it's the industry sharing things within itself, right?
Craig says, and we need more clickbait in the important videos. Maybe we'll put 4,000 puffs and LEDs next time on that, because that seems to be getting a lot of traction. One of the comments that privately a few people talked about was this. When we showed this of course is the top-down view of where the PG, VG, and nicotine goes. That's feeding. People saw this, and they got a little bit confused. What this is showing you, this is the top-down view where we were putting the nicotine cartridges in. What this is feeding is this. So what you just saw is above this. These are all the production lines. If I'm not mistaken, there were 18 production lines in this entire facility. Right above this, right above what you're seeing right now, this ceiling is this right here. This is exactly what's above that. So basically, it's all fed through pressure. The VG, PG that you saw at the beginning, which was these vats right here, and you know, there's me just for comparison to show you. The PG, VG is fed through these pipes that you see here on the wall. Yep. Goes into that same area. The nicotine is fed into that same area on top of the production lines, which is these lines right here. I just wanted to clarify that for people that may have not understood that during the video, but it's a very, very, very complicated process.
Yeah. If you go back to that photo, D.
Which one?
The one where it's above the yeah. So if you remember, we had a canister in the coffee machine room. We had there's the canister right there. There's, I think, a spot for 4 or 5 of those canisters in or like right above that area.
Yes.
Right. And those canisters feed into those drums, and inside those drums, it's basically the nicotine mixing with the PG and the VG, right? So what you wind up having, you have the big giant vats where your PG and your VG feed into the production room, and here is where your nicotine PG, VG feeds into the room, and then of course you got your flavorings in the room too. So it's like all 3 of those things coming together in the production room that are actually making the e-liquids. And I did get a few requests for people interested in getting or trying any VDLV based e-liquids. I did ask the French team if there was any place that they could get them from, and I'm waiting to hear back.
One thing that we didn't show you in the video is this. Look at this. Yeah. There was guitars there's guitars feel in the e-liquid manufacturing. What is this all about?
Yeah, so I guess there's a couple of folks that
I look like Johnny Cash there. Tell me I don't look like Johnny Cash.
Yeah, just like Johnny Cash. Yeah. They wanted to manufacture guitars. So the way I understand this was Shari said, why don't you come in and we'll give you a spot in the plant, in the company, and you can manufacture your guitars. But what we're going to do is all of the scrap, all of the sawdust, all of the whatever's left over after you're done making your guitars, we're going to use that in addition to the tobacco leaf that the nicotine's already been extracted out of. We're going to use all of your waste product with the tobacco, and we're going to create energy. So they basically burn that. They burn that to generate electricity that they feed back into the factory. So they really kind of want that whole factory to be self-sustaining and have really no output that is not used. It's really interesting.
It's pretty badass. I mean, it's
it
really
is.
pretty badass that they're using these. We saw the wood chips. I mean, I wish we could put it all in the video, but then the issue is that the video becomes 1 hour long and then people don't watch it as well too. So we had to make sure that we get the important stuff in there. They recycle their water. They produce methane. They produce their own pesticide. They use the wood. They recycle the tobacco after they extract the nicotine. I mean,
They do produce methane, but not nearly as much as you do, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for the masks that day. And it wouldn't be by the way, if you have any questions about the videos, put them now. I do see some comments about nicotine. There are levels of synthetic nicotine as well too. There's good and bad, just like freebase. There's good and bad nicotine. And by bad, I mean it's not going to kill you. But you significantly can taste, if you've been vaping long enough, you can taste if nicotine is good or bad. If it's got a peppery taste, if it has an alkaline taste, you can tell the level of cleanliness of the nicotine if you've been vaping long enough. It's the same thing for synthetic as well too. There's expensive. I mean, I can tell you the most expensive one is approaching 10,000 per kilogram, and I can tell you the cheap nicotine, which is about 3,000. And I don't even know if it's synthetic nicotine. I'm assuming it's synthetic nicotine, but there are levels. I've seen some people making comments in the chat about it.
Yeah, well, and not only can you taste it, but you can also sense it in throat hit too.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because I remember the first time I tried a synthetic, it was at the China show. Yeah. And I was not impressed.
Yeah,
I was absolutely not impressed. It was being sold as synthetic nicotine, not salt. Yeah. It was a 12 milligram I tried, an 18 milligram I tried, and there was zero throat hit. And you guys know how I am. If I don't have my throat hit, I don't vape. I don't vape it. Right.
I've been really stressed this past couple of weeks. I got a lot of projects going on at the same time, and I've been craving more throat hit myself. I mean, I have a high nicotine and the cooling on top. And this is one of the reasons why I switched to the Aries these last couple of days. I needed more of a throat hit, more defined throat hit. I wanted to bump up the wattage to about 20 on my 0.7, 0.8 coil, but I'm really craving it because of the stress level that I'm at right now. So yeah. I totally agree with you.
Yeah. By the way, you call it cooling. I call it throat raping.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be we have to mention this. This was Bordeaux, the city where VDLV is. Well, it's on the outskirts of. It's not in the city as well too. But right. We just wanted to show you a couple of these. I mean, this is the street where the hotel was on, and I'll actually have a. You
have a picture of the hotel.
I have a picture of the hotel, but look at this. I mean, it was just. Guys, I don't know if whoever's been to France or you've been to Paris and you think that's what France is all about. This city is gorgeous. The architecture is gorgeous. The people were friendly, clean. I mean, it was just, I was flabbergasted, Phil.
I totally agree with you. I tell you what, if I
this is where the hotel was right here, right in the side street on the left.
I think you have an even close-up photo of the.
I don't know if I've pulled it, but anyway.
If I were to bring anybody to France, right, I would take them to Paris, get on a tour bus, and say, "Look, okay, there's the Louvre, and look, there's the Eiffel Tower. All right, let's get the hell out of here and go to Lille and go to Bordeaux."
Yeah.
Right. There were a couple of times, and I experienced this in Italy too. There were a couple of times where you turn a corner and it doesn't look real. It looks like a movie set.
Yeah.
And it's the lighting, guys. It's the lighting and the architecture and just the beauty of the scene and where you are. And then you have the black sky as a backdrop. It doesn't look real. It looks like a movie scene. It really, really does. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm very appreciative for, a lot of the things that I've seen and experienced with vaping. I would not have done any of this stuff if it wasn't for, this. And it's just a really, really good experience. Beautiful, beautiful areas, really, really nice people. And I think Paris is definitely overrated after you experience places like Lille and like Bordeaux. Absolutely gorgeous.
It was beautiful. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that because we didn't get to show that on the video as well too. But I mean, we didn't get spend much time honestly there. We just had one evening out, but definitely looking forward to going back there and spending a few more days and exploring the city. And we're going to the Lille show in April, and maybe we'll combine it there and take a few days and go back to VDLV and just experience Bordeaux a little bit.
Yeah, we really didn't. We take the beautiful photos. We took a couple food photos too, but you guys got to understand. We literally didn't have time to breathe on this trip. It was show, travel, meet with the Innokin team, have meetings with the Innokin team, have meetings with the French Innokin team and China, and then it was travel to Bordeaux to see VDLV, to shoot VDLV, to have meetings with them. And like literally the scenery shots that we're showing you are us walking to a restaurant, having something to eat, and then going back to the hotel. Yeah. At this trip, it was really interesting because we didn't get to shop or buy our families anything.
I didn't even get a cake.
I know. Well, we'll get to that. Yeah. But what we usually do sometimes is like when we go back to the Paris airport, we go to the lounge and then Dimitri will go do some shopping. He'll come back and then I'll go do some shopping. We didn't even get to do that. But because of COVID, all of the boutiques, all of the shops, all of the stores in the airport were closed. Not only were the shops and the boutiques closed, but I don't know if you saw the Dimitri bitching video on my Facebook. The lounges were all closed too, all of them. Right, American, Cathay Pacific, right, Emirates, like everything was closed. The whole wing of that airport was just. So we really didn't get to, like, even my niece, I didn't even get to buy her anything. I always get at least something for my niece, but yeah. So it was go. It was go on this trip.
Yeah, I gotta say a question. What is a 60 ml bottle of liquid go in France? It's about $19. It's 16.90 euros, whatever that is. If you want to get Google to change that out, but it's about $19 for a 60 ml bottle. It's actually a 50 ml short fill. They don't have 60 ml bottles, but by the time you put the nicotine and everything, it's gonna be a little bit over $20 for sure. But Walter Boonstra asks, do you guys ever vape higher than a 12 milligram? I do, and I think Phil does as well too when we're traveling. So when I'm traveling, I use a 20 milligram, this Icebreakers. I absolutely love this thing in pod systems and stuff like that. So I use a 20 milligram when I'm traveling because I can't vape, like I'm vaping at home or when I'm at, just not traveling. So, but keep in mind this thing, Walter, I want to tell you that why we vape 12 is because we have learned how to self-titrate our bodies through the day based on our vape pattern, right, Phil?
Yeah, no, I agree. And typically I am 12 all the time, even when I'm traveling for the most part. This trip, I was vaping a little bit higher because I was evaluating a new Innokin product. So I was actually using salt, kind of a combination between salt and freebase at around 20. But for the most part, I am 12 milligram all the time. But I mean, I'm so used to 12 milligram. I know, how much I can vape and how much I should vape. And the other nice thing about, being at that 12 milligram and being there for such a long time, if I forget my vape or if I don't have it like every 5 minutes or like when I vape, you see me vaping during the show, it doesn't kill me, right? It doesn't, I'm not like jonesing for a hit. Yeah. I'm not like tweaking, you know what I mean? And I know Dimitri's made that comment too, where it's like I can walk away from it and not lose my mind, which is a good thing, right? And I know a lot of people who are on that 50 milligram salt, they cannot do that, which is, in my opinion, is not a good thing.
Yeah, I don't have nothing against higher nicotine. I don't want you to get mistaken on this, Walter. I'm just saying that for us, vaping is not a task. So we need to find the perfect combination of titrating nicotine into our bodies, along with the pleasure principle of vaping. Right? I want to enjoy the flavor. I want to enjoy it through the day. I'm going to vape 6, 7 meals, 8 meals, which is my average of 12 milligram. I get enough nicotine in my body, and then I enjoy vaping as well too. Could I pick up a 50 and take a couple puffs and put it down? Yes, but that's a task. That's not enjoyable for me, and I think it's not enjoyable for Phil. So what we have found is this perfect combination of, like, through the day, this is exactly how much kind of vape, and 12 milligram does it for us. It gives us the throat hit. It gives us the nicotine that we need, and it also gives us the pleasure principle of vaping, which is very, very important. It's something that is not talked about, especially with the invent of the 50 milligram salt, the pleasure of vaping.
Yeah, and to Paul, yes, absolutely freebase. I honestly do not like salt. I don't like salt.
I don't like salt either. I can't. I mean, for me personally, salt, if it's just plain salt nicotine, it's not enjoyable. I'll use it, but it's not as enjoyable to me as a 12 milligram freebase liquid.
somebody was at the house the other day and they saw something and they were very, very impressed by what they saw. They were shocked, and they looked at my desk and they saw this. Right. And they're like, that, that vaping's, it's all bullshit. You're smoking. I said, no. I said, this is a pack that I bought to make a video, the most important vape trick. Like how many years is that now? All right. And there's still only one or two. I think I used another one for another. Remember I used to call it my prop cigarettes, right? And I also use the pack to focus my camera every time I do a video or I turn the camera back on. And they were impressed that I'm able to have this here, even though like I was a smoker for such a long time and I switched to vaping, that I'm able to have this here in front of me all the time with cigarettes available, and I don't touch them.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, vaping like really, really works for you. I said, yeah, it really does. I know, because I remember when we did the tobacco liquid experiment with Dimitri and Richard Hong at Flavor Art in Canada. And they were both like, wow, like I could go right back to smoking. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. I
cannot go back to smoking. It won't work for me anymore. The flavor to me is disgusting. The smell is disgusting. I don't like anything about it. Vaping truly works for me, so much so that I will never go back to this, and I will never smoke one of these, even though they are available to me 24/7 right here on my desk.
Yeah, Brad says he vapes 4 milligram because he vapes a lot, and that's exactly right. He enjoys that style of vaping. He vapes a lot, so he's dropped his nicotine. That way he can titrate the amount of nicotine he's getting. He's just vaping more, but pretty much I guarantee you he's getting probably the same nicotine that we're getting with 12 milligram vaping less. Hall of Vape is in Stuttgart, June 25th, 26th. We will be there, of course, my friend. Looking forward to it. And I assume 12 milligram freebase would be too harsh. I want to cut down, but still get a nic hit. Why do you want to cut down? I mean, unless you're trying to get off nicotine, there's no reason. Enjoy it. 12 milligram is a very good happy spot, I think, for a lot of people that are using this as a tool to stay off cigarettes. So keep that in mind as well too. That's always a advice that me and Phil, which is a great segue to.
Oh my, opinions from both ends. You are listening to the DP Show with Dimmy and Phil.
Tell me about your interaction with Bridget.
So Bridget was talking about her father the other night when we were doing the premiere of the science behind the company, and she was saying that her father tried vaping and he was unsuccessful. So like a lot of people, I said, all right, I said, just Facebook me and I'll take care of it, or I'll talk to you about it. And a lot of people started asking her questions. I was like, no, look, I got it. Let's just watch the premiere. So I talked to Bridget afterwards, and she told me that her father tried vaping and he was unsuccessful. I said, well, what did he use? I don't know, something from a C store, right? This is my fear, guys, right? Is you have people that are going into a C store, they're seeing something, they're trying it, it doesn't work for them. Vaping doesn't work, right? That's one of the problems with going to a C store versus going to a vape shop. Hopefully there are still some vape shops that are out there that are still good. Peggy, I'm sure she's an example of a vape shop that is still good, that is concerned with getting you off of cigarettes and into vaping. But sometimes you need hand holding, right? You need to ask people questions. What do you smoke? How much do you smoke? What do you like about smoking? What is it, the sensation? Let's try a few things. Let's see if we can get you off of the cigarettes. Let's give you this. Let's see if this works. No, why didn't it work? What happened? Where did it fail you? Right. And I talked to Bridget about this, and I decided on sending Bridget's father a device and some liquid. And I said, but Bridget, so you got to promise me a couple things, right? Because unfortunately, Bridget is not physically close to her father. I mean, they're close relationship, but not physically close. They don't live in the same town. So they're thousands of miles away. I said, I'm going to send this to your father, but Bridget, you have to promise me that you're going to talk to your father. You're going to tell him, that this is on its way. You're going to explain to him how to use it. Right. And you're going to get feedback. I want to know, did this work for him? Did it not work for him? If it didn't work for him, why? What did he like about it? What didn't he like about it? These are the problems that people are going to experience when they're going into C stores. They're not going to get the hand holding that they need. Also, I have like reservations these days too. because like, I don't know where Bridget's father lives. I don't know what's close to him as far as him being able to go in and buy a coil and a liquid, right?
Yeah. Is
there some place that's comfortable for him to, or is he going to walk in and say, ooh, this place is scary, I don't like this place, right? So, you know, it's getting, I feel like for me, and this is something that I wanted to talk to Dimitri about earlier on. I talked to him about this. I said, it's getting for me, I feel like I'm more hesitant to send people to a vape shop these days than I ever have in the past. And that's not a good feeling.
Especially if you don't know the area, if you don't have somewhere like, you know, I mean, I know quite a few vape shops across the United States. If it's a big city or whatever, I could probably direct somebody to something that's good. But just to tell them to randomly go into a vape shop like we used to, like walk into any vape shop. Remember we used to say in 2014, walk into any vape shops. There's a lot of passionate people willing to help. And that was absolutely accurate. Yep. Not today. I mean, it's definitely not today. It's not the same tobacco harm reduction movement. And so, I mean, yeah, I agree with you.
How do I know Bridget's father isn't going to walk into a vape shop and walk out with a fucking Delta 8 pen? Like, yeah. I don't know. I mean, that could happen, right?
Get a little buzz. What's nothing wrong with a little buzz.
No, there's nothing wrong with a little buzz, but like, you know, we're trying to get him off of cigarettes.
I hear you. This is where, I mean, like, you know, this is where stuff like this, like, you know, I'm actually, you know, I'm using this light as well too. When I just pick up and go, you know, I'm going to take my daughter to school or whatever, I just take this with me. I don't have to think about anything, no settings. I got the coil inside. I take it, I push the button and I vape. That's it. Very easy to change the coil. This is the stuff like we need to give to smokers, these type of devices. That way they don't have to depend on the vape shop. They don't have to depend on that expertise. They can just do everything online.
Yes, and we have to talk about that. We have to talk about that offline with Innokin, figure out a way to make it easier for people to get these products. We'll take that offline. But I think that's another problem with the C-store. They're only, if you think about it, they're only getting one experience. They're getting that 50 milligram salt experience with a whole bunch of different flavors and mostly like overly iced flavors now at this point. Really? Yeah. So that's like the experience that you're going to get if you go into a C-store.
Correct.
You're not going to get multiple nicotine strengths. You're not going to get iced or uniced flavors. You're not going to get things that have a throat hit, a nice solid thumpy throat hit, so that you don't feel like you're just you know, vaping air, right? So there's so many experiences that you need to have to be successful, and I think you're only getting one experience from a C-store, and that's not a good thing either.
I agree with you. Well, I want to wish good luck to Bridget's dad. And
absolutely, Bridget. And like I said, Bridget, I want open communication, and let me know how this works out for your father.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see what her response is going to be, and how you know, how effective it's going to be for him. I wish him all the luck. We're here to support you. That's for sure.
And, all right, and thank you to Innokin for supplying us the product
Absolutely.
That allows us to do this.
Absolutely, we're probably going to be the only people left in America being able to convert people with Innokin product. All right, so what are we going to do now? Oh, okay, we have to. Oops, what is this? I gotta close all this real quick.
You'll be okay.
No, I forgot that every time you open up a picture, it just like stays there. So I have like 50.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I have 50 pictures open. I'm gonna use it.
It opens multiple windows.
Opens multiple windows. All right. So we did have a contest of how many open devices we have on our desks and in our offices and our vape players. And
one other thing before you go, Bridget did say last night that I was awesome, and I did say that I was much more awesome than you, and she did agree with that. So okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad somebody can say that. All right. So yeah. So you have something a little bit prepared, and if you're ready to do that, I'll switch to you, and then I'll do mine, and we'll see who won.
Let's see. I think if I click this right here, okay.
Craig or Marshall, does anybody remember what the prize was from that contest? Anybody help, please? Go ahead, Phil.
Okay. So you got to understand, like, there's still a lot of my devices, I have a feeling, in Rochester. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't come down to me. And I had a lot of stuff in boxes. So I basically had to go through a lot of boxes and pull a lot of stuff out. So I'll go through. So this is a lot of the stuff that was in boxes. These are both mechanical and regulated devices. Mechanicals down here, all regulated devices up here. I go through a little walkthrough here of some of them. A lot of this stuff brings back a lot of memories when I see a lot of these devices. And then I think I go through the some of the mechanicals down there. So this is a lot of stuff that I broke out of boxes. I did wound up pulling some pieces for a display that you'll see in a little bit. And there's the display. I wound up pulling some important pieces and pieces that meant a lot to me. There's the Dimitri Pink mod right there. So a lot of these are actually on display now again, and they haven't been on display for a while. So there's that. And then we go into my office. I think some of my favorite mechanicals are right here. There's Poldiac there. There's oh God, one that was given me at the Paris Vape show, the first one that I went to. Some Squonkers back there. The Graham Noodle. Look, this is my little guy there.
Look how sexy that is.
Some more pieces, yeah, and these are like special pieces to me that I keep in this box. Some of the stab wood pieces, that piece that I have from that Greek modder that if you put it together with Dimitri's, it forms a heart.
Yep. This
is my ode to Innokin shelf. Some more pieces up here. I have to look. There's the Dimitri and Phil. Here's the Mr. and Mr. Agraphiotis thing that we got from that hotel. Some more mods here. So basically what I had to do was count all these. Oh, and then there's the drawer. There's the drawer of pods that started coming in. And I counted all these. And I came up with a rough number. Let's see. Is there more? Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot. I'm also taking into account my Innokin stock.
Yeah.
Right. So this is some stock that I have for Innokin. These are all used as prizes and giveaways. I did not count tanks. And then I also looked at some other stuff that was on shelves. Look, there's the DJ Miami license plate.
DJ Miami.
DJ Miami. A lot of these are double review pieces. And then I have just like some random stuff on desk. You know, there's mods everywhere. Look, there's just mods everywhere. But I tried to do a rough count. I have that rough count. And
hold on.
Knows what that rough count is.
Yeah, don't put it yet. Let me just give you. I got a little, just quick. I just did this right before the show, so everybody can kind of like see over here. Here's a little bit mine. Okay, we're gonna do a little quick tour of the layer. Well, I mean the messy layer. Most of the stuff that I'm testing out now is on my desk, and some of my mostly used devices are sitting here. This is actually mostly like 3 times the amount that you're seeing here, but I just actually cleaned this out yesterday, believe it or not.
That's clean.
That's clean. My battle station, my monitors, computer, blah, blah, blah. Everything is down there. And usually I have the high-end mods up on the top shelf. Down here, just a collection of devices over the years. Some more down there. Mostly tubes on this side, and all the way down. For a grand total of... Whoop, I'm going to pause it right there because I actually said the number on there. But, and also, you know, I didn't shoot the stock, which is on the opposite side as well, too. But I was able to get the total now as well. So the two combined numbers are, good luck, everybody, is Phil 430, Dimi 479 for a grand total of 909 devices, and this is you know, approximately, but you get the gist. There might be 1 or 2 that are missed, and plus I threw away a lot of pods last year. I mean, I had a whole thing like Phil did, but I threw all those pods out when I was doing the pod reviews, which of course I was the first to do that, and then nobody was doing them, and now everybody's doing them. But that's a different story. But I threw all those pods away. So grand total 909. Whoever came closest to this without going over is the big wiener. We'll figure out what that number is, and you know, a little Phil doing a little dance on top as well.
Hey, look at that little dance I'm doing up there.
Like that?
In
I
the
made
old
that.
vape layer.
I made that. All right, let me go ahead and take this out. Greg and Marshall, if you guys would be kind enough to kind of go through that. Anybody that posts a response on there today can kiss my Greek ass, so it's not gonna count. And anybody that posts any response on that video today is not going to count. Just to be on the show. Oh, by the way, I had one of these as well too ready, but I completely forgot about it.
What'd you have? It's okay. Okay.
Anyway, 900.
It's okay. You know, there's a couple other things. Like when I was doing that, I continued to record. If anybody wants to see it, I continued to record some of the other collectibles that I have in my room. It's all sci-fi geek stuff that Dimitri.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
Okay,
Nobody wants to see that. Absolutely.
Maybe some people would.
You
like
should
to
do a
see that.
vlog. Do a vlog and do it. People will like that. Since you're not doing a lot of review videos, do a vlog video.
We'll see. Maybe
people would love to see that. I mean, the geeks would love to see that. By the way, what I got you for Christmas is a geek present because I know you're.
Is
a geek.
it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate when you like.
Yeah, because I'm smart like that, and I'm very personalized with my gifts.
You're very good at presents. You're much better than I am.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
You know, but I mean, I give you good gift certificates where you can buy your own stuff.
It's space related. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely.
Is it really?
Yeah. All right. So, and it's not sending your DNA to the moon. It's not that. I thought about it, but I thought it was kind of stupid.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, I didn't do it. All right.
The other thing too that was fun when I was going through my mods. Maybe this is something else that we could do is mods that were personalized to us, whether they have something engraved on them or in them, or they have some kind of an image that like the reasons why the mods were special to us. There's a lot of them in the collection. Yeah, right.
That's the most special for me right there.
That's the most special. Would be. I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun sometime to pull some of our more special pieces and share those with people. I think that would be good for a show too.
Okay, Bill is going through the entries. It looks like we have an 873. So he's going to go again and he's going to recheck it and make sure. But if that would be Rob Rand. And I really don't remember what it was, but we'll look at the video afterwards. But anyway, that would be, and Rob's won before, but that's good. He pays attention.
I think the prize was you're going over to Rob's house and you're cleaning the bathrooms.
No, I don't think that was.
You sure?
There's one more thing that we wanted to show you that we didn't get a chance to show you a couple of weeks ago because we ran out of time. Unless there's something else that you wanted to say, Phil.
No, I'm good.
It looks like he doesn't see any closer without going over. So it looks like Rob Rand is the big wiener, and hopefully he'll see this video and get in touch with us. And I don't know what you won, but you will. But we did want to show you something that we did not show you on the Paris Vape Expo recap, and I think it's important to show you. Of course, our sponsor Innokin and the company that we work for as well too. What they did over there at the booth at the Paris show. So we wanted to really present to you the actual booth. I want to make sure that I got the right one. Okay, that's the one, and kind of show you how the setup was and what a professional vape event looks like and a professional company how they set up the booth. Right, Phil?
Absolutely.
Any other intro you want to put into this?
No, that's I told Dimitri that we should share this, but there was one point where actually you pointed it out the first time, and then I looked and I realized that you were absolutely right, and it's one very special table to us. So go ahead and roll that.
Let's do it, baby.
So what do you want to do? You want to
go
ahead
through
all
and
the
say
products?
this is our booth. Oops.
There
we go.
You gotta hold it higher though.
Just a second. You get to see a little bit behind the scenes too.
Higher. All right, you guys, welcome to the Innokin booth. I tell you what, the French team did a fantastic job putting this together. The imagery, I know.
By the way, fuck your hire. My arm hurts. Okay, I have two broken arms, and I'm holding the camera up high.
Get a long selfie stick for God's sake.
Dimitri recorded some. I know Dimitri recorded some stuff on the booth. I recorded some stuff on the booth. You're going to see that as I'm talking and walking you through this. All of the boxes, all of the
this was supposed to be edited, by the way.
Yeah, but you didn't.
These are some of the devices, some of the smaller devices over here. We have the Endura T18-2 Mini, the Endura M18, the Scepter, a very, very popular pod system, and also, I think, really one of the nicest looking pod devices on the market. Just like the feel, the look, and the quality of this device.
I still think that.
Really, really nice.
Yeah, it really is.
The Census, where we introduced the Fourier technology, the F0, the Coil Plus, and the Refresh. Moving down here, some simpler device like the Endura T22. All good devices for starters. Don't you think so, Dimitri?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
These are the pinnacle of what Innokin does.
So this is actually a really cool table right over here, because everything that you see on this table uses the Z coil. Everything on this table. The Coolfire Z80 that I'm using right now, I love the white one, right? The Go Z, The Zlide 2, the Coolfire Z50, this is the vintage version. Kind of a neat color pattern on that. The Coolfire Z50, the Zlide, the Zenith 2, our new flagship tank, and the Chroma Z. Everything on this table uses the Z coil. That's something that was really important to us, to have a large and hopefully expanding line of products that all uses the same coil. Makes it a lot easier for shops to carry, for vendors to carry, right?
That's good.
Now we go to something new.
Yeah, let me show this too.
Oh, yeah.
The Chroma 217. So, you know, Dimitri, a lot of people have been asking Innokin for a 21700 device. So we delivered with this one. It's going to be available in several different colors.
So
this
sexy.
It's going to be the gunmetal and blue. So it is going to use a 2700 milliamp hour battery. Of course, it's going to come with an adapter for an 18650. It's going to do 100 watts. You have wattage on this one. You have Coil Plus on this one. Coil Plus, kind of interesting. You use the device, you let go of the button. It fires the coil very, very low to heat up the coil a little bit and pull e-liquid into the coil. It also has refresh, again, a very similar idea. So it heats up the coil just enough to increase the capillary action of the coil, pulls the e-liquid into it, so you have a fresh...
How dare they come on in there and interrupt my speech? Look, am I getting angry a little bit?
A little bit.
Here. Look, I'm holding my pose so I can edit the video easier. Look, I look like Biden standing there.
So that you have a nice fresh
Look at
coil
that.
every time you use it.
Flawless.
This is going to be the new Z-Force tank. This tank is something that Dimitri and I are really proud of. It's basically a standard restricted direct lung tank. But there's some magic going on with the coil. What we did with this coil, we are calling it the Duo Prime coil, is it has a coil on the inside. Duotech? I thought it was called the Duo Prime.
Fuck, I know.
You're getting it unedited, folks.
Duo coil.
Yeah, this is supposed to be edited, by the way.
It's called the Duo coil, and what it It's called the Duo Coil. And what
Shit,
it is
fuck,
is
dude, I forgot this was all unedited.
Vaporization of the e-liquid that we see with all of the devices. But also, there's a coil on the outside. The coil on the outside, as you're using the device, heats up, again, increases the capillary action, pulls e-liquid in, and then it pulls it into the inner coil. Okay, so we've got that outside coil bringing the e-liquid in and feeding the inner coil. So what we're trying to do is give you a more fully saturated, a more flavorful vape, and to prevent dry hits. So we're really excited. This is something new. Would you not say revolutionary, Dimitri?
I think it's definitely innovative in the coil market. I mean, what you can do with a tank is pretty much done. When you look at the tank, it looks just like another sub-ohm tank. We did a little nice design on the airflow. Actually, it looks like a Z, but it's designed to make a smoother draw, not as loud as a lot of sub-ohm tanks on the market. But definitely the magic on this is the coil inside. And we just basically took this from capillary action. The more e-liquid that you're going to feed into the inner coil, the better flavorful and wet, as I call it, vape you're
He calls it wet. I call it fully saturated.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah,
all right. So cool stuff, man. That was really nice.
It was good. Yeah. Sorry about the flubs in there, and also very sorry about the flashing lights. We should have warned people about that. Again, the GoPro Hero 10, the brand new one with flicker reduction turned on. The fluorescent lights in there wreaked havoc with it, so I do need to experiment a little bit with that.
By the way, all the ladies that night were like just flabbergasted at my my outfit right there. Just so sexy. Don't you think so sexy?
Yeah, that's when I see you. That's what I think. So sexy. That's right. Yep. Oh, Scott's here. Hey, Scott.
Scott, you just missed the giveaway. We just gave away 25 disposables, bro, with 17,000 puffs, 27 mils of liquid on each one, rechargeable,
and
refillable,
LEDs and strobe lights.
Definitely LEDs. When you suck on it, like LEDs flash all the way down your throat, coming out of your butthole.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
And
new technology.
and Bluetooth speakers.
New technology. But yeah, so anyway, don't see any closer without going over, says Bill. Okay, Rob Brand, congratulations. 873. That's pretty darn close.
Very close.
Chris Gillard, you can find the #1 selling watermelon peach e-liquid by the Unsalted line, and of course the famous influencer, YouTuber, reviewer, advocate, designer Phil Busardo at _vapes.com. Very easy, very easy. _vapes.com. By the way, huge news for _vapes, by the way. Launching _vapes.eu. _vapes.eu. Soon a fulfillment center in Europe. You'll be able to get anywhere, any country in Europe and beyond, Russia, Dubai, everywhere. Out of a fulfillment center in Europe, you'll be able to get the #1 unsalted watermelon peach in Europe.
Finally.
Soon. Finally. From
Right?
_vapes.eu.
Yeah, now that it's 5 years old, nobody gives a shit about it. It's finally gonna be over.
It's still selling good, man. I'm telling you, it's still selling
It
good.
is. Yeah. Well, you know what? As it
surprised.
should, because it's delicious.
It really
it's the
is.
#1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted. Thank God for me and this flavor. I mean, I'm just carrying Dimitri and Matt, pretty much.
You are.
Really, seriously.
You are. But it's still doing well. So Rocky Top Vapor does not have it anymore, unfortunately, Steve. They sold out and they couldn't reorder due to the PMTA restrictions, unfortunately. So yeah, that was the Innokin booth, and the way that they had it set up, very, very professional. I was really, really glad. The team there did a fantastic job. I mean, they really, really are amazing. I don't know if I showed this picture here. Let me just see if I can pull it up real quick. I have it here on my downloads. But yeah, look at this, man. I mean, just this is after we won the award, and this team did a fantastic job at the booth. Very, very professional, very knowledgeable, and we're very proud to be working with them.
I absolutely love that picture, and that picture was my idea.
Absolutely, it was. I give you full credit on that. There was one more that I wanted to show you here. Oh, I uploaded this as my profile picture today. That was a really good picture. You took that, actually.
I did. There were some other ones where you could actually see your face. That was
but I like that better. It's just like so mystic. It's just like, what is he doing? Is he like a romantic vaping cowboy through the streets of Paris?
We were in a restaurant, and there was a guy coming around, and he was selling roses, and I didn't have any euros on me. I pulled out an American 20, and I'm like, and he's like, 3 roses, 3 roses. So I bought 2 roses for the girls at the table, and then I said I need one for my boyfriend, and he's like, your boyfriend? I said, yeah, my boyfriend right here, and Dimitri got a rose too. Yeah.
And this is my, I found this today, by the way. I had made this a while ago, but we didn't get a super chat, so I wasn't able to use it. But I'm going to use it now. There you go. Yeah. Just such you're doing such a fantastic job on this. It's just, look at that. Look at that motion. Look at that form. Look at that strategic placement of your fingers while you are polishing that wood. It's just absolutely unbelievable. There you go. There you go. Oh, man. All right.
Yeah, I always said that this device, it's such a missed opportunity. It should have been a squonker, and when you squeeze the balls, it should have released the liquid up.
Yeah. Well,
such a shame.
So you'll be able to get it in Europe soon, my friend. I don't know how, I mean, we have to get it up and running before Germany passes that outrageous tax, but yeah, it'll be available in Europe soon. So we're very, very excited about that. I still highly recommend the little like his lips, unsalted line of Tiny Lips Blueberry Morning. Yeah, it's good. I mean, they're all good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. But Phil's is #1 selling. It is a delicious liquid. It really is. It's good. If you like fruity watermelon peach goodness, it is a real, and it's gonna be iced now too, which is exciting because I'll be able to vape it as well too.
Yeah, and so we didn't actually say that. So there are going to be 3 new flavors. The 3 new flavors are going to be ice flavors because ice flavors are very, very popular now. And they were talking about, like, hey, Phil, you should do a different flavor. You should do an ice flavor. I said, no. I mean, let's just take the watermelon peach. It's doing really, really, really well. Let's ice it. Let's ice it for people who want that experience. So
I'm going to tell you why we need those flavors as well too. I have told you that in Greece, we're seeing the invasion of the disposables. I want to have liquids in my store for as soon as that person says, I'm tired of spending $8 on a disposable every day, I need to have liquids in the store to put in an M18 or a small pod system and say, here, try this. And with this, you spend the price of 3 disposables and you can vape for 2 weeks, right? And I think it's extremely important. One of the most difficult things about doing that is converting these people that are used to the disposables are all ice flavors, all high nicotine ice flavors. So I think if we can get a 12 milligram, 10 10 ml bottle of ice flavors that mimic those that are in the pod systems and the disposables, it'll be easier because, if you say, okay, here's a pod system, but you put a different liquid inside, it doesn't taste the same. They don't get that same experience and they don't like it. We need to have more ice flavors in a bottle in order to have those other options. I'm going to fill up some Endura M18s and have them ready over there for people to try out that are ready to make the switch and get away from. We talked about this with Peggy the other day, that she does this as well too sometimes in her store, but it's very, very difficult if you don't have a lot of ice flavors.
Yeah. I don't like ice flavors.
Did I see field jerk juice emissions? Says Marshall.
No, nothing shot out.
Nothing shot out. Please send your liquid to Gas City Vapes. It's not up to us, Christopher. Christopher 𝗵𝗏. By the way, did you see the Sopranos follow-up movie? You didn't see The Streets of New Jersey? Oh my God.
No.
How behind are you on this?
Is it good?
No, it's horrible.
Oh,
it was horrible. I was so disappointed. But Dexter's back on. I'm getting ready to see the first episode tonight. But yeah, the follow-up movie is it's like seeing it from a young Tony Soprano, and the guy that's playing it is his son, and it also has Christopher 𝗵𝗏 inside as well too, talking about his dad and his relationship with Tony's dad and blah blah blah, and Junior. I'm not gonna give you spoilers just in case you haven't seen it, but I wasn't too happy with it. So Army says horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. Evil Woman says excellent idea. Listen, 𝗍𝗵𝗶𝗹, I always have great ideas, but in order to achieve those ideas, I need to have help from the industry. I cannot. If somebody's vaping, let me tell you, the number one popular flavor in my disposables. Guess flavor, Phil.
Watermelon peach.
No, except watermelon peach.
PP tears.
No, the number one disposable selling flavor in my stores.
Oh, ice mango.
Yes, absolutely. I don't have an ice mango bottle. So I think I'm going to do an ice mango for my unsalted line. Or maybe Matt will do it so he can get some sales as well too and carry the team a little bit.
You guys might get the number one best-selling flavor out of that.
Yeah, ice mango is definitely on the top one. Strawberry ice is big. Banana ice is big. Blueberry ice is a little bit, it's like third or fourth, but I need to have that liquid available in a bottle for that person that does decide to do it, and it has to match. So by putting in a 12 milligram 10 ml bottle with that same ice cooling, you're going to get that same experience of that higher nicotine that's a little bit salt, the salt nicotine that's being
Listen, I hope you guys do good with that flavor, because I'm tired of making you guys money. It would be nice if you made me a little bit of money now. But I already know my shtick is going to be the original number one best-selling flavor in the unsalted line.
Ricky Mahoney says, I fell asleep watching it. Watching what? Us? Yeah, we're pretty boring, my friend.
Oh, no, I think maybe he's talking about the look, I have to watch it.
Yes, watch it this week, please, and follow up next week. That's going to be your homework for the year, homework assignment.
My homework. All right, thanks. But the reason why I have to watch it is because of why I used to watch the Sopranos, because number one, it was great. Okay. Yeah. But number two, I would watch it. I was like, I was there. I know where that is.
Yeah.
Like even the Bada Bing, I think I told you this. The Bada Bing was a real strip club. It was called the Satin Dolls, right?
We went up there. We saw it together when we were driving by.
Yeah. That's right.
When we visited your parents and stayed a couple nights. Banana ice is always nice. Yes, absolutely. That's another good flavor that sells. It's not as good as the other ones. Keep in mind, this is Europe. This is not America. So the flavor profiles there are a little bit different. It would be nice to have some of these ice flavors, and I have some other ideas as well too of creating like a very basic line of ice flavors in a 10 ml for the European market, because disposables are invading whether we like it or not. But watch it and let me know next Tuesday what you think of it. I was disappointed personally, and a lot of people were. I'm a big Sopranos fan, and I've actually watched the series 3 times, by the way. Over the years, and I go on Reddit and I go on these forums where they actually talk about it. Like they really dive into the like these really passionate people, and a lot of people were disappointed by it.
I don't have to watch The Sopranos again. All I have to do is go over and hang out with Larry for a little while. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah,
thing.
Pretty much the same thing. Absolutely. All right, Bad Movie says Christopher. All right, it's 11 o'clock. We've covered it all, and
we have.
And did we forget anything?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover, everything I wanted to talk about. The mods, everything except my sci-fi collection that Dimitri doesn't want to share. It's okay. So I know there's at least one person.
Thank God we're out of time. That's all I gotta say. Thank God we're out of time. Yeah. All right. Have this. I have this. Anything else, Phil?
Nope.
Say your,
that is it, my
say your
friend.
goodbyes.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. I said it before. I'll say it again. I really do appreciate the people who watch these shows and the comments that you leave. I guarantee you they're better than other comments for other people in the vaping industry. I really, really do appreciate you guys and the support. And again, if you want to support us, do like the videos, the shows, share the shows, share the video, share the VDLV videos, get those out there, and continue to support us through supporting the Innokin and the platform products. We certainly do appreciate that. And of course, watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line.
Kalinihta Stavros, spread the VDLV video, but don't spread VD. That's my advice for you. We'll see you again next week. We are out.